Welcome to the Top Choice Empowerment Show, where host Howard White will teach, inspire, motivate, and most of all, empower you. Now here's your host, Howard White.
Hey, welcome this morning. This is Howard White. Welcome to the Top Choice Empowerment Hour. We are here to hopefully to spend a little time with you. We've got 30 minutes to spend with you, and with that 30 minutes, we hopefully to teach you a little bit, inspire you, motivate you, but most of all, empower you. Empower you to be the best person that you can be. Empower you to seek God's calling on your life, because life is about a calling, and we must answer that calling if we're going to truly live life. I was listening this morning and doing some studying, and one of the things that we talked about was everybody is born, but few people live. And the only way you can live is finding your true purpose. And we're going to continue on. Last week, we talked about purpose. For those of you who are joining us the first time, welcome, and hopefully will not be your last time. Top Choice Empowerment Hour, as we said, is a show to teach, inspire, motivate, and to empower you. It was born out of an idea, actually an idea back last February. I was sitting in a class, and one of the speakers challenged us to write down those things that we're not doing that we've always desired to do. And to do a radio show was something that I had always desired to do. I mean, from morning drive, acting crazy, saying, hey, that could be me on the radio doing that, having fun. But that just wasn't my calling on that. And I think when I really answered my calling a couple years ago to started walking in life, working as a business coach and a life coach, and to help others, to teach others, to train others, then this came to me. So I wrote it down, and in December we were blessed to start that. And here we are this morning, getting on and moving forward to our purpose or walking in our purpose. Before I start, I'd like to open in prayer. And I just wanted to say, Heavenly Father, thank you for this opportunity to speak to your children. As one of your childs, I ask that you allow me to be a river and not a reservoir, to allow that which has been deposited into me to flow through me so that it may deposit it onto fertile ground and grow the fruits that you shall get credit for. We ask this in our son's name. Amen. Hey, like we said, we're talking about purpose, and that is one of the strongest things in the world, purpose. I mean, when a person finds their purpose, it's all over. That's it. I mean, you ain't got to say nothing else. The theme that we're using this year going forward is same purpose, different person. This time next year, if that can be said of you, then you have really been living, not just existing. And what I mean by that is same purpose, different person. When we really find our purpose, we start to change. People will say, gosh, girl, what's wrong with you? You got a shine on your face. Is that a new man? No, that's a new purpose. Hey, man, what's up with you? You're not sleeping in anymore. What's going on? I mean, you coming to work and getting things done and going. You ain't hanging out with us no more. You ain't clubbing with us no more. What's going on? You different. Yeah, I am different, but I got a purpose. And if it's the right purpose, throughout your life, it'll be the same purpose, and you're going to continuously grow. Hey, just to refresh a little bit for those that were with you and didn't get a chance to join us, we're going to touch up on a couple things. And last week, we kind of ended with 7 positions of purpose. And I'm going to go through those real quick. You can always email me at howard@teamtopchoice.com. That's howard@teamtopchoice.com. Or you can go to topchoiceradio.com and just put your information in, and you'll get on our mailing list. Hey, but we're going to talk about the 7 positions of purpose, and we went over them last week, so I'm not going to go in detail with them again this week because we've got some other things that we want to try to uncover and explore. And I say uncover because a lot of what I speak to is things that God's working through me on at this time. And it's funny as I begin this lesson, for the last 3 weeks, it seemed like every sermon I heard, any of the speakers I normally listen to, the books I was picking up and reading, the magazine articles, it all had something about purpose. It all had something about your vision. And I'm like, okay, God, you're really speaking to me on this. And so hopefully, some of that wisdom will shine through. Well, as we talk about the 7 positions of purpose, number 1, purpose helps you forget your past. That's right. It allows you to drive forward looking through the front glass and not in that big rear view mirror. I mean, just imagine in your car this morning as you drive into work, if your rear view mirror was 2 feet wide or 3 feet wide and 2 feet high, you can see anything but stuff behind you. And I think a lot of us are like that because we're not living in our purpose. It helps us live in the present. And what I mean by that is really enjoying where we are. And I think that's something we got to learn to do in life. We got to learn to really enjoy where we are, because a lot of times we're not really focusing and enjoying where we are. And we should enjoy the moment. The other thing, it causes you to stop daily and give gratitude. By giving gratitude, I think that really opens us up for God to give us more blessings. Be thankful for what we have. I mean, just imagine you had identical twins. You gave both of them the same exact thing, but one was unhappy. Even though you love them dearly, that gratitude makes a difference. And I often speak to youngsters when I speak to youngsters. When you show gratitude and be thankful for things that you receive, no matter how small they are, people will want to do more for you. Then the next one is it helps us prepare for the future, because when we're on purpose, we're getting ready for those things. It puts us in a position to get ready. It's like that race. When you've trained properly, and he say, on your mark, you down there, you ready to go full speed. And that's what, when you're running in your purpose, that's the way we are. We're training to be ready for it, because if we're in our purpose, we want to be the best at what we do. And the thing about that, if this is your true calling, your best, being your best is better than trying to be someone else, because you never will succeed at being someone else. Purpose doesn't need validation. Now, I often say that's your ticket. A lot of times when people answer their calling, they seek their old friends and want validation. You don't need it. Because, as you walk in your purpose, you don't need the validation. And one of the things that's going to happen, and someone told me this, they said, Howard, this journey you're going on in coaching and training, 90% of the people you don't know yet that you're going to be working with. I was like, wow, I know quite a few people. But you mean 90% of the people I don't know already? He said, yeah. He said, believe it. If this is your true purpose, you're going to meet a ton of new people. And hey, that's already started. Had some great meetings the last couple of weeks. And it's just new people that been around me but didn't exist before. They've been around me but they didn't exist before. Purpose helps you see that big picture. I was a fan of a Western growing up, and part of that was because of my grandpa. But it was always a nice big sunset, and that's what purpose helps us do. It helps us enjoy that sunset and the sunrise. It helps us do that. Purpose also prunes the habits and makes you consistent. We often say that it starts with a thought, leads to actions, which develop your habits. And that's what purpose is. Purpose is that thought, that seed is planted. The seed that's planted. Your calling is that purpose that helps you to do that. One of the things that I often tell folks, living your true purpose at the highest level of being indicates that you want to make a difference. Really make a difference. And that's where you're going to be when you're operating in your true purpose. It's one of the most fulfilling places that you can be. And the rewards, just magnificent rewards. Just think about it. When you see people that are just happy, you look at sometimes their material possessions, but they're happy and they're full of joy because they're walking in their purpose. And that's one of the things that you cannot get caught up on when you answer your calling and your purpose. You can't just look at that potential financial outcome, because there are a lot of things that exist that you don't even know. That you don't even know and have no idea of. So as you look at that, I think that's real critical. If you want to jump in on this, I have some questions, or are you struggling with working through that, you can always give us a call at 225-343-1075 or email us at howard@teamtopchoice. And if you email us, we will be glad to answer your questions. And if so, we'll use them on the air next week. But once again, that's 343-1075 or howard@teamtopchoice.com. One of the things that, I look at with purpose is when you're walking in purpose, you're going to have the right people around you. And that's going to be critical. A lot of times, when we look at our team, we've got to have the right people around us, no matter what we do. If it's something big and some purpose, something of a positive nature, it definitely has to be a team, because no one has done anything great without a team of people. I don't care where you check in history, everybody had a team. I often tell people that Jesus had 12, so we know we're going to need many. He had 12 disciples, and they all had a purpose. They all had distinct characteristics that allowed them to gel as a team and to serve the kingdom. But one of the things, and just to recap last week, we talked about a little bit, the three things that being in purpose helps you with. And one, it helps you align with your natural abilities. It helps you to align with your natural abilities. Just like when we came on, if I had started singing, you guys would have turned your radio off and said, man, what is this? Is this a Radio Idol reject or what? So I know that singing was not my gift, even though I try to do it sometimes. And it, once again, it was not my gift. But it knows when you're walking in purpose, you truly align with your natural ability. The other thing, you're stepping in your purpose when it allows you to easily be determined, not deterred. That's right. Because you're going to hit those roadblocks, rejections, and You're going to have challenges and you're going to have problems. So when you're walking in your purpose, it allows you to truly be determined and not deterred. And most of all, it allows you to have a humble attitude. I mean, that is critical, an humble attitude. So a lot of people don't think about it, but when you're walking in your purpose, there are going to be a lot of callings happening on you, a lot of things happen on you as you move forward and possibly get notoriety and things that you had never even thought about or possibly even desired start happening to you. You're going to have to remain humble. And that's one of the things that when you're walking in your true purpose, that will allow you to do. One of the things is before we go to a brief break, I wanted to kind of to let you know of a couple things that we have going on. And when I say we, that's Team Top Choice. And the first one is on January the 28th at 1 p.m. is a workshop that we call DYP to the Third Power. We did this workshop on the 31st, and last night I had a gentleman come up to me. I was at an MLK celebration last night, and he said, "Howard, how can I get another copy of that planner that you gave out at the workshop?" He said, "I don't know how I'm going to live my February without it, man. This thing has become a part of my life." And what he's speaking to is one of the things that we do in this workshop. We really work through identifying your dream, your purpose, and helping you create a vision for it, and then how do you implement that on a daily basis? And that's a tool that we gave to all the attendees to that. And you too can attend that workshop. The workshop, you can go online at topchoicelive.com. That's topchoicelive.com. I gave you a lot of top choices, so we're going to continue to give them to you throughout the show. But that's topchoicelive.com and register there. But with that said, it's a great workshop. A couple things have been changed a little bit, tweaked a few things based on the feedback from our attendees. And like I said, we did it on December 31st. And we often say we make New Year's resolutions, but the question I ask you about those resolutions, how many of you have fallen out of love with them already? Hopefully not that many. But if you have, I think some of the strategies, well, I know some of the strategies that we're going to help you with will help you stay in love. Because one of the things that as you set a goal, it's not just to say, what do I want to be? But you should ask, why do I want to be? Not what, but why. And if that why is strong enough, the how does not matter. Let me repeat that again. If the why is strong enough, the how does not matter. You know, it's like a mom defending her cub, a mama bear defending her cub. The why is the safety of her cub, the safety of a loved one, and she will die doing it. And that's the way you will be if it is your true passion, your true gift. Hey, welcome back to the Top Choice Empowerment Hour. This is Howard White. I'm your host. Once again, feel free to email us at howard@teamtopchoice.com. You can go to our Facebook page, Team Top Choice. And we're going to be doing a lot more things through social media as we work and try to grow. And one of the things that we're going to do here on the back half of the show, I got 10 things, 10 questions you can ask yourself to kind of say, am I really walking in my purpose? And with those 10 questions, we be glad to email them to you. And the answers are, you ask yourself, yes, I am, or don't know, not quite sure, and no. So we'll actually have a caller. Before we get started, we're going to ask our producer to click us over to the caller and see, just kind of go from there. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. Hi, I have a question. When you have more than one thing that you're pursuing or you believe that you were called to do, and sometimes I feel guilty when I don't have enough time. I'm feeling stressed in sometimes when I can't pursue one as much as I would like to. And the other question is, when can I see you at another event?
I love those questions. Hey, that first one, one of the things that we talk about and one of the things that we teach around is strategic priorities. Everything has a reason and a season. So when you look at it, you want to say, okay, what are those three things that I should be focused on now? And when you identify those three things, it makes life a lot easier, because if it doesn't fit within those three things, you can say, you don't have to say no, but you say not now. And that allows you to comfortably focus on what you're designed to focus on. You know, and I'll give you a personal example. This week, I got a big event that I'm working on with a nonprofit. So most of my time is around that. And I told the guys after that, y'all won't see me for a while because, you know, I got to focus on some other things. So that's number one, is really identifying those strategic priorities out of those things. So those things that you're really looking at, focus on them and say, which one do I rank number one? Which one is number two? And through that, and number three, and then through that gives you a way to focus on them daily. The way you can reach us, like I said, on the 28th, we actually have a live training workshop. It's great value. 3.5 hour workshop for $49 training. And I mean, some of the people that we talked to that actually was in it on the 31st are coming back again, repeating it because they said they got a lot out of it and they feel they're going to get even more out of it because they're in a different place than they were 3 weeks ago. So we definitely would love for you to attend that and just simply go to topchoicelive.com and register for it. Or just email us at howard@teamtopchoice, and we will be glad to send you more information of how to stay connected with us.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully that helped you. So as we look at going through those 10 questions, and we're going to go through them fairly quickly this morning because of time, but once again, we'll be glad to email them back to you, and hopefully if you need it, you can just hit us up. Number one, do you recognize what you're good at? Do you recognize what you're good at and what energizes you? I mean, when you're walking in your purpose, think about it. You're good. And then when you realize it and you practice it, you're going to be great. I mean, that's the position I want to be in right now. If you look at my vision board, you're going to like, wow, in order to do that, Howard, you got to be great. I got some things that I want to do. And it's not because of Howard White, but it's because of the number of people that I will be able to bless and impact, hopefully, by doing that. Do you fully utilize your most enjoyed skills? Yeah, and all that's simply saying is, do you have fun when you're doing what you do? If you have fun when you're doing what you do, most likely you're walking in your purpose. Number 3, does your work further some interest or issue that you care deeply about? One of the things that I say is that AVT, add value to others. You should always be adding value to others. And that's one of the things that actually I start my week every week of who can I add value to this week, write it down and say how I'm going to do it. And that's something you should do. And if you're working in purpose, it is. And that ties into number 4. Do you see yourself through your work as making a difference in this world? Every conversation that you have, did you walk away leaving that person in a better position? Some of us have those people in our lives that tear us down. And when we see them coming, I got to go to the bathroom, man. Or hey, I just got a call. Let me hit you back. Because they do not add value to our life. Do you view most days with a sense of enthusiasm? I mean, do you wake up happy, ready to go? Do you hit the snooze 6 times? Are you enthused in the morning? Is your purpose, once you find your purpose, you really don't need an alarm clock. You really don't. The alarm clock will be to let you know that you focus on your purpose too much and you got to do something else that you don't necessarily care about. And we still do have to take care of those things in our lives that may or may not be totally wrapped around our purpose. Have you developed your own philosophy of life and success? And what I mean by that is, what does success look like for you? Not for others now. I mean, and I think that's real key because your success has to be determined by you. I know myself, and I shared this yesterday with a young man I was sitting with, that I spent about 20 years of my life doing things that I didn't love. I liked it, but I didn't love it. But when I look back through my life, there was a lot of sprinkles that would tap me on it and say, hey, Howard, come on over here to what you love. And I did not answer that calling, and that's what I challenge you not to do. Don't waste all that time. And then the other side of that is a little side note. Don't be envy of those who found their calling early. A lot of times we'll look at people that are highly successful in an industry or highly successful at something and say, man, I wish I could be like them. Well, maybe you should have spent the last 20 years doing what they did because they found their calling earlier and they answered their calling earlier. They found their purpose earlier and they've been practicing it a whole lot longer. So you have to play catch up. You have to practice a whole lot more. Are you taking the necessary risk to live your philosophy, to live your purpose? And I mean, what I mean by that, are you going out on a limb? One of the things that when you're living in purpose, you got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because one of the things that I can assure you that no growth happens in the comfort zone. If you're comfortable, you're not growing. So be comfortable with being uncomfortable. You got to be able to take risk in life. Do you feel a sense of meaning and purpose for your life? When you're by yourself, do you feel satisfied? Are you happy? And generally, that genuine happiness comes from living a life on purpose. As we said earlier, everybody is born, but few live. Everyone is born, but few live. When you look at God's creatures, everyone except for man is programmed on what to do. But man is truly allowed to think and find his own purpose. Ducks fly south in the winter. They're programmed. In nature, in nature, that's how they're programmed. That's what they're going to do. They don't change that. They can't change that. But man has the choice to follow its own purpose. And the question I ask you, are you doing that? Now it comes down to the nuts and bolts. Do you have goals this year that relate to your purpose? We started that show off, Same purpose, different person. And those goals should be elevating you to a different person. You should be a different person this time next year. January the 21st, 2015, I should see growth in you. Everyone should see growth in you. You know, the biggest compliment that you can have is one of your girlfriends that you saw yesterday when she see you next year this time and she say, girl, you sure have changed. And you say, yeah, that's right, girl, I have. And that's because you have a purpose, but you're going to be a different person. And number 10, are you living your life to the fullest right now? That's right, living today, preparing for tomorrow. Are you living your life to the fullest right now? And not just saying, I hope things will work out someday. And that's going to be up to you. I mean, you got to make that happen. You know, one of the things that I say is PUT. It's an acronym that I use, and it just kind of came to me last week as we were working through some lessons. And PUT stands for push until tomorrow. I mean, when you push until tomorrow, it may not sound like a lot, but you think about it. Today you're pushing. Today, 8 o'clock a.m., you're pushing. 5 p.m., you're still pushing. 10 p.m., the news is on, but you pushing through it. Everybody else watching, getting ready to go to bed. 11:59, you pushing until tomorrow. 12 o'clock hits, boom, it's 12:01. Oh, it is today. Tomorrow is 24 hours away. I got to start pushing again. And that's how you are when you find your purpose. You are pushing until tomorrow. You're continuously pushing towards your purpose, because when you find your purpose, you want to be the best person that you can be. Well, hopefully this has been a blessing to you. I know it has helped me. That's one of the things that when I go back and listen at the recording of the tapes, I get something out of it, because I think as we do things, and I tell folks this, when you teach something, you learn it twice. First, to prepare, and then second, when you teach it. Because every time you go through a lesson, or every time you listen to a lesson or read a book, you're in a different place. So you see it from a different vantage point. So I challenge you as you move forward this week is that you really look to live your week, live your life on purpose, and search for that purpose. Once again, this is Howard White with the Top Choice Empowerment Hour. If you want to connect with us, you can go to topchoicelive.com and register for our upcoming event, or just simply email me at howard@teamtopchoice.com, and we'll be glad to connect with you. If you have any questions or things that we can help you with, we look forward to that and helping you and have the same purpose and be a different person. Same purpose, different person. You want to be a different person this time next year. So live your purpose to the fullest, and we'll see you next week in the Top Choice Empowerment Hour as we take you down that road and journey to help you develop a full life.
You've made the top choice. Like Howard on Facebook at Team Top Choice and receive more tips that will help increase your productivity. And remember, Howard helps others win and realize dreams.